to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Jay, how are you?
Very well, sir. Thank you for having me back.
Of course. Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here with you gentlemen.
Is it?
It is.
Really?
Sure.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, you guys are generally fun.
Well, yesterday ended on a sour note. E was all bent out of... Remember the
boy.
stew he was in yesterday? Holy shit. E, are you out of your stew now?
Well, I, again, never thought I was in one, but yes.
Oh,
yeah.
you got some sleep, did you?
Yeah, that did
Very
help a little
good.
bit.
How long did you sleep? Did you have to go to dance class yesterday?
I did have to go to dance class, although the option was finally offered that I could take a nap here even before, and yeah I didn't need that.
A nice guy, you know.
That I didn't even think I would fall asleep, and then
you were out.
And then literally, next
you
thing
were
I
a
know,
mess.
my alarm was.
Yeah.
You were a cranky
going
mess,
off.
dude.
Yeah, probably.
And in a huge stew. I'm glad you're feeling better.
And you're practiced up for your recital on Saturday.
Yeah, I have two more. Thank God, because I will say last night was a mess. I kind of off the routine big time.
Yeah, you ruined your technique when you went EDM all weekend, right?
Well, yeah,
Probably.
that
Because you were
for
like
sure.
beat dropping, and now you've got to get
totally.
back to the technical
Yeah.
paso doble, etc.
Yeah,
Totally,
yeah. It's going to be
exactly.
tough, dude. It's going to be tough.
Well-
Plus, with your choking, you know, just by nature,
not
your
choke by
classic
nature.
choker. Yeah, propensity to choke when the big
Not
moment
true.
arrives.
Not true, but
Pro-period runner. But go ahead.
no, I don't know. Luckily, I got two more practices this week, so that'll be good. And I have to say, by the way, I know most people have given. I get that, but since we're going to talk about it, I should bring it up. I'm only $300 above this second place person. She
Oh,
had a
boy.
big run, which I thought
did?
that she would.
Who is this?
Catherine something.
Catherine.
Catherine something. I don't know what her last name is.
So how did she do this? How many donors does she have? She just get one big corporate check or something?
I noticed. I think she got $1,000 from something, but I did notice some 50s and 100s in there. But so I knew this would happen. I knew that in donation things, a lot of people do wait to the end to finally give a push. I kind of gave my push, a few weeks ago with the 24-hour thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're a few $100s up. So man, if you haven't given yet, this would be a really good time because it'd be nice to have that top donation prize.
It'd be unfortunate if all you did was serve as the rabbit out in front of the greyhounds.
I know. You're right. Which is kind of maybe what I will say
pace
this. I
setter,
wouldn't
so
doubt
to
if
speak.
I wouldn't doubt if that's what happened a little bit now. I would.
That's a great point, man. He did. He was
he's
the pace setter out in front of everybody, and everyone's like, all right, that's what we got to shoot for now. And so they're all catching you.
Well, you know what? The real answer would be though if I forced this girl to push some people to give a few extra $1,000, it really is all for the South Oakland shelter. So
Yeah, but it's
that's
more
a very
about
good
winning.
thing.
I think it's more important than feeding the homeless is winning.
I do agree with that though.
As important, they'd say.
yeah, maybe not
As
more, but
maybe
as.
a touch more even, because to have that on our resume is
And
huge for us.
And hardware on the mantle.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes,
that would be coming
yes.
into this studio.
Yeah.
So you're right. I agree.
Well, it sucks, dude, because I realized I have to go shopping now. Because this thing's like Saturday.
Oh, you have nothing to wear, I'm sure.
No, I mean unless I can go in
a hoodie and a hat.
hoodie
No,
and
don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't know what to do because what am I supposed to wear? E, it's at the Townsend. It's got to be like a black tie
I
event.
know. I did
no,
look
it's
into
not
it.
black tie.
What is
Yeah,
it?
I did look in. It did say evening.
It'd actually be
attire.
easier, honestly, for a dude if it was black tie.
Really?
Because then you just go get a tux.
Yeah.
And be
Like
done
run a
with it.
tux even or something.
What's evening attire?
That's a broad spectrum of attire, Mike.
Yeah.
But
Do I currently own evening
No,
attire?
no.
Not even close.
No. Oh God, no.
You've never seen me in evening
All
attire.
right, you're not going to wear a hat. Number one.
Fuck.
FYI.
Do I have to go to this?
And you're
E?
not going to wear tennis shoes either.
I mean, the money's already given.
God, I have
so.
to buy shoes now too and get a
Oh,
haircut.
this will be fun, Mike.
Fuck.
Be like a makeover.
Yeah, I need a whole makeover.
But Mike, the thing is once you get over the dancing crap, or whatever, from 10 till midnight, there's more dancing and drinks.
Well,
Wonderful.
I could see you
So-
and Beth could dance on the dance floor.
So what do I have to pick up? Some khakis? Do I need some khakis?
no khakis.
Sport coat. What am I doing?
I would go jacket, nice pants, nice shoes, and I'd probably go tieless, although you could go with a tie.
Oh, I'm going tie. If I'm going jacket, I'm going tie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I don't get to wear them that often.
Yeah.
And I
It's
love
exciting, right?
I love doing the unbutton the top one and loosen that son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's a good look late in the evening. Yeah.
I like to go right out of the gate with that look.
Oh.
Like that's the way I arrive. Is like I just like that. Like I just got off a hard day at work, and it's time to loosen things up and get over to the town.
Exactly.
E, I hear you went and bought a new suit.
What?
for the after party?
I did.
And I got to tell you, I don't know if I would have gone this route. I think
I
it's
don't
bold.
remember-
I think it's a bold move.
You say that, I don't remember exactly how to describe it, but it's not black. I went gray, more gray than
Okay.
black.
Go with a smoky gray suit.
I didn't say smoke. I don't know what the look exactly.
Is it a
version-
suit? It's matching pants and jacket.
Yes,
It's a suit.
I did go out and get
Wow.
a suit in the end. My dancer kept saying, like, man, you got to look nice after the performance. Like, after the performance, you are one of, like,
You're one of the
technically one of the
stars.
stars.
Yeah,
So, I
you're
mean,
a Detroit
the notion
star.
that I guess I would wear
Sure.
my performance stuff and then just go and put, like,
Go put on your Pistons
right.
terrorist. No, you're not doing
Probably
that.
not a good idea.
Yeah.
So I went to,
This is going to be remarkable to see you guys all gussied up.
I know. I don't know. Do I still have time to go get something like some pants hemmed?
Yeah, you're going to have to rush it.
it's gonna be
though.
close,
what
man.
is it?
I went last
Dude,
Sunday.
Yeah, you better go quick.
I'll go today.
like, I went last Sunday.
Where do you go? Where do they sell that type of stuff?
Any fine men's clothier.
Okay. All right, I think I know what that is. I'll try to find one of those. Never been a suit guy. I've never really owned one except
don't
for
recommend
weddings
it.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I have you know what? I had a wedding. I actually do have a wedding coming up later next year, too. So I was like, maybe not a bad idea
There
to
you
get
go.
something new.
Yeah.
Get a few uses out of it.
I would have gone black or blue, but gray. Okay.
Gray is great. Let me ask you this. Did you go ahead and get the dance shoes?
I'm just going with black.
Oh,
Dress
boy,
shoes.
this is a big
Shit.
risk. What
Yeah,
are the bottoms like?
Risk. This is a disaster waiting to happen.
They're going to be too sticky. They're going to be too tacky.
They are.
You're gonna
Ballerina
you're
shoes,
gonna
the
go
way
to
to
spin
go.
on your toe, and you're just going to stop, dude.
And you're going to squeak.
Well, I'm not buying shoes that I'm only going to wear once in my lifetime. So
Didn't we talk about this? You got the money back from the dance classes. You can now put those into
yeah, but
proper
then I bought that
shoes.
suit, which I really wasn't planning on doing, to be honest with
Does
you.
anyone out there, what size shoe are you, Eve?
11
Does
and a
anyone
half.
have a pair of ballet slippers, size 11, 11 and a half, that they could loan E for
I actually
one
did.
night?
If you remember, I did have one listener reach out to me, but it turns out his shoes were, I don't know, either too big or too small, but they weren't going to fit.
Oh, yeah, he was a dude who's like, yeah, me and my wife took ballroom dancing classes for a while. I've got these damn shoes sitting around
Yeah.
if you want them.
Yeah,
That's
it
funny.
turns out they didn't fit, unfortunately. But
Oh, man.
it should be a fun event, though, for
Hell
sure.
yeah.
I mean,
He was telling me that he bought a suit a few years ago for a job interview. So he had a job interview at DFN.
Yeah.
To be a board op. He didn't get the job, which is amazing. I didn't know it was possible to go in for a job interview as a board op and not get the job. I didn't know that. But when he had suspenders, he had suspendered suit.
you know what? I had never done a real interview. It was literally my first interview in my life. And looking back on it for radio, I probably did not need a full suit.
Yeah.
Not saying I shouldn't have dressed up, but I probably did not need full suit and jacket and tie and dress. Like, I went all out. All out for this.
All out.
Probably a minimum wage board op job at WDFN.
Hey, man, you looked your best.
I
You dressed up when you came in for when you met me. the
Yeah,
first
but
time.
it was. I think it was still. But at that point, though, it was just like nice khakis,
Yeah.
button up.
That's
it
always
wasn't like,
tricky
believe
with
there was a
jobs like
tie-
that, right?
yeah,
Where they're not
yeah.
like office professional
Right,
jobs,
'cause
but
I'm-
you still want to look good. And
See, I never had an interview. I mean, I had an interview, but it was like mine was so informal. I like had a phone interview with Rob Schaefer because I knew someone, and so we talked for like a half hour, an hour, just bullshit. He's like, so I don't know, you want to start tomorrow? And so it was like, yeah, sure. And so I just went there, and you're not going to wear a suit to that gig, but
Right.
it's not like I went in and I had an interview scheduled
your
for
resume
noon.
in hand.
Yeah, my resume and my suit and fancy tie on, and yes, I think I'm qualified for the job.
well, you're
Here's
lucky.
why.
Most people have gone through that process
Yeah.
many times, and it sucks balls.
Yeah,
Well,
it does.
because I mean, I've only been through a few, and I know Jay's been in, and even those ones have still been radio, so they've not been full on like The Office. But there's just all that etiquette. I get from what I know about like all this etiquette of like the small talk.
Gotta be an adult.
And you gotta
Gotta act
sit-
Shake
professionally.
hands, look people in the eyes.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
I don't know. To me, it seems like there's a lot. I guess, especially these days now, probably with social networking and like they probably have to look through all that crap now.
Well, I'll tell you right now, E, you did not do well in your interview with me. I mean, that's why I hired you, but you were a disaster. That's the only reason I hired you. So a couple years earlier or whatever, when you went to DFN, I can only imagine what that woman saw.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Do you remember
but
who you met with over there?
You know what? I don't remember the name, but I did tell. Well, I told Mike for one how I got hooked up with this interview. This was like 2 years after Specs at this point. Probably the lowest part of my life, actually. I was working midnights at Meijer, and some dude just working shelves with me. Somehow it comes up. He's like, "Yeah, I know somebody over at DFN. I can probably get you a job interview." I'm like, "No," but he did.
Wow,
He
your
got
colleague at Meijer.
I got some dude
Even with
stocking
an
shelves.
in and with a colleague, he,
And
put in a word for him. He wasn't able to.
Well, I told Mike
pull
I
off
went
that
to the
gig.
I went to the interview, and the one thing I did remember about it is that she asked me like, "Well, what's your what do you want to what?" I kind of said, "Hey, I know it's been a few years, but I got out of Specs. I didn't quite know how to really look for a job." And she's like, "Okay, yeah,
Said
makes
that to her.
No, dude, I don't know if I said it exactly, but I'm sure that came up. To be honest, I don't remember that part. I'm just assuming it came up.
Don't stew.
I'm not stewing. I'm just saying. I'm assuming. Anyway, but I do remember this very exactly. She said like, "Well, what's your goal eventually in radio?" I'm like, "Well, I've always wanted to be on there. Like, eventually."
Oh, do you hear your voice?
That's not what. No, that wasn't her response. But I was like, "Well, I've always wanted to be on air, but I just want to do radio so bad. Obviously willing to just want to get my foot in the door, take any job." And she's kind of like was like, "Well, this is just for a board op job." So like,
It's beneath you. You're too good for this job,
dude. If you want to be on the air, I think like this isn't quite the job you're probably looking for.
That was her way of letting you down easy.
Yeah.
I guess
She
maybe
did you a favor.
Maybe it was, but it was like at the time, I was like, "Well, wait a minute. What do you mean? Like I don't know."
There is a
like,
reasonable response to that. It's like, look, no, honestly, I would love to start at this
I know.
and see where it goes.
And
I'm passionate about the idea of board hopping right now, and
Yeah.
Jay,
do my best
I
with
can't tell you exactly
John
what
Bon
I said.
Jovi
I just-
swept floors in the studio before he got his break.
if you
So
think-
Jimmy
okay,
Iovine.
wait, whoa,
Jimmy
whoa.
Iovine,
If
that's
you
what
think
should've
any of
done.
this wasn't laid out there, like I don't exactly remember my
You used the
response.
John Bon Jovi example?
Jimmy Iovine.
No, not those exactly, but if there's no question in my mind that I would have brought up, like, look it, man, this is all I've ever wanted to do.
Say
I just
look
want to
at
get
man to a woman.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
off-putting.
Fail.
You would be the worst interview ever. I'm sorry.
I disagree.
No offense-y.
I
If
disagree.
you
the
could
reason
find
I got,
out who that woman was, I would love to call her.
Any
and see
chance
if-
it was Rona?
'cause she'll
Rona
she'll
Danziger? Because she ran DFN for a long time.
don't
No.
think that rings a bell. I disagree though. I disagree because the reason I got my board op job or
He
board op job.
disagrees.
The board up job I got in Holland was flat out because of him talking to me and my passion for radio and how bad I just wanted to do anything I could to get into
That guy
radio.
was desperate.
Yeah.
Fuck
And then he was
you.
crazy.
Fuck
You even said he was crazy.
That's bullshit, man. He
There's
wasn't
3
crazy.
people in this room, and only one of them has been in a formal interview with Big E.
That was not a
And
formal interview, and you weren't even dude.
What do you mean?
Dude, for one, I think Joey technically did I think you guys all. I was just in a studio. It wasn't like I went into.
Joey did not interview you.
Okay. I don't. You know what, man?
Joey
Whatever.
wanted me to have you.
the notion-
better
Joey
trained.
wanted security to escort you out of the building. He thought you were an insane person.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna sit here.
How do you
and let
respond to that? How do you even respond to that?
I'm not. That's not what. You're exaggerating. I know for one, but shut up. You say these things and you're definitely.
I swear to
there's
God,
no way he said to you that phrasing. No way.
Okay, maybe not that phrasing, but he
Crazy person?
Dude, he came into the studio and he went, "There's no way you're hiring that guy. He's fucking crazy. He's weird." And I went, "That's
Yeah,
why
well,
I'm
Joey
hiring
was
him."
weird to me at times too. So.
All right, yeah,
Don't
fine.
lash out, E. Don't
Yeah.
lash out.
Don't
no,
lash.
the notion. No, I don't. I will not sit here and let you guys, as usual, just say this stuff is fact that I would not be able to be. Well, no, the guy. Well, the guy that I got actually paid me to do radio. The only person that's paid me to do real radio loved me and loved my interview. So that's the only thing I can go on.
Okay. We didn't.
He also had a radio station that did church services in Holland, Michigan.
Yeah, that's how you get into radio.
Yeah.
And you know what, dude? You know what?
And then once you said
Not
ecclesiasticals,
true.
you
Not
were
true.
out.
You know what?
You're out.
I went on a lunch. That was just supposed to be a lunch to help me give me advice for radio. And that lunch with the program director at 95.5 led me to him wanting to hire me. So you know what? That was another time.
I know. Yeah.
No, that's a guy at a real station with a real big morning show.
Taken that job.
And he wanted to
Is it
hire
still
me. So you know
available?
what? I think I can do okay when it comes down. There's 2 examples I just gave. 2 out of 3 times I've had a real radio job interview. It's worked. They wanted me.
It's
So
a little bit of work, but we could absolutely do this. Have E try to convince you to give him a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know what, though? E just made a decent point. He did have 2 jobs. You've had 1 job, Mike. He's had
Yeah.
2. He's arguably the better interviewer in this room.
I've had more jobs than just
He's
two in life.
arguably the second best interviewer in this room.
I had a job in Lansing and a job in Kalamazoo and Detroit for many years.
Yeah.
And I was so good
You
that
worked
I
at,
just
you worked
kept
at
my job.
Tim Hortons for a couple
That's
weeks.
true.
That's
a couple
no,
weeks.
no.
And
I'm not saying
Zot.
I'm better than Mike, but I'm saying that your point. I mean that. I just gave 2 examples, and one of them was just a lunch where it was.
I know, because of the great work you did on our show, 95.5 was interested in you. So they
Not-
were willing to overlook how lousy you were in
Yeah,
the interview process.
if you went in,
funny.
if you went in
You know-
cold and they had no knowledge of the work you did on
That's
the
not
show,
how it
are you
works,
fucking
though.
kidding
That's
me?
not how it works, though. That's not how radio works.
Fair enough, E. Fair enough.
Okay.
You've
See,
you've
now you're getting
convinced
mad.
me.
Don't get mad.
You're a,
I don't wanna fight
you're a
again.
suitable person. Barely.
Come on, E, show up.
We're gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, 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 Doug.
It's been a while. I almost forgot the lyrics to the Doug song.
Buying or selling a home can be one of the most stressful times of a person's life. Doug Steinert at Century 21 Campbell wants to make the sale of your old home or the purchase of your dream home as stress-free as possible. Call Douglas at 248-765-1781. Let him and the team at Century 21 Campbell make your home purchasing dreams a reality. Call 248-765-1781. Ask for fellow Detroitcast listener Doug Steinert.
Looks like we maybe have a serial killer on the loose in Tampa.
That's what I understand.
Wow, that would be terrifying, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
To just
Sure.
have someone like, dude, that's the way to do it. It is to be like have no connection with someone and just randomly shoot someone.
Well, I remember the Oakland County child killer that was going on when we were kids, you know?
Yeah, that was in Berkeley area, I think, at one point.
Yeah, Royal Oak, Berkeley, Birmingham-ish.
Yeah.
And that was all the rage there for a while. I remember my mom talking at the bus stop and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
But remember when they were looking for that little kid? That the boy was missing, and who was it? What's his name? McNamara? Was it McNamara that was in charge of that shit at the time? I think. But he had that he told that story about how like he told the town like, look, we want to look in everyone's trunk. We're looking for this boy. I don't give a shit what we find in your car. You got 10 pounds of coke in there. I don't give a shit. We will close your trunk and let you on your way.
I don't remember
We're
that
looking
anecdote.
for this child. And I was like, all right, fair enough. But yeah, man, there's another guy turned up dead this morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I guess Ronald Felton.
So he's killing men and women, right?
Yeah, I think the other 3 were people that got off the bus stop or something late at night. It's dark out, and then just boom, shot in the head, and they're found dead on the ground. Cops were on the scene really quickly, like within a minute, and they think he was crossing the street, this guy, to meet up with someone when this dude just came up behind him and shot him dead, dressed in all black. They say it's a thin black guy, dressed in all black, wearing a black baseball hat, and they're like, we don't think he got that far. They close down everything. Don't send your kids to school. Stay locked in your house. If you own a gun, we want you to go there right now, check, make sure it's still there, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, they want to talk to as many people as they can. But, yeah, boy, that would suck to have a neighborhood. Because that was like, October 9th? I think that started when those first 3 were killed over a 10-day period. And now this one. So, yeah, hopefully they figure out.
Reminds you of the DC Sniper a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Just how random and, there's another one pretty much every day. Like, another one.
That's
People just
the
pumping
thing.
gas and shit.
Yeah. Oh, the pumping gas one.
Because it's one thing,
Across the
like,
street.
you know, Son of Sam and all that shit where it's young kids out making out in their car and they're slashed or shot, whatever it was. But just to be like, well, I'm just a normal citizen. I don't get myself, you know, I'm not out late. I'm not doing this. I'm not at a gay bar. I'm not wherever these guys are targeting.
Right.
I'm just a guy pumping gas.
Pumping
and
gas.
Boom, your head's a watermelon.
Oh, can you imagine? And that's what makes it so hard. It's because it's the motive that does everyone in. Everyone's like, oh yeah, look right here. He was in a vicious fight with his wife, you know, and now it all makes sense. She wanted the kids and the home and was leaving his ass, and it's like, she winds up dead. And it's easy to pin on that guy, but when you don't have anyone, any relation with someone, it's just totally random. You can imagine how hard that is for the cops. And to prove that point, this woman, did you see this woman faint in court in California? Pretty funny. One of these where she hired someone to kill her husband.
Oh, right. I saw that.
Yeah, and the video's pretty good, seeing this woman like faint in court. But Diana Lovejoy found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder. This goes back to September of 2016. for an attack actually on her husband, Greg Mulvihill, in Carlsbad. God, you're living in Carlsbad, California. This is paradise.
Nice area, is it?
Oh, yes. Wonderful area. Little surf town. Footage taken from inside the court showed her looking like at her legal team all wide-eyed. They're like, guilty, and she's just like, oh.
Oh,
Do you have the video there, E? The camera guy's got to get on his game, man. It took him a while to get on her.
The jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Diana Jean Lovejoy, guilty of the crime of conspiracy to commit murder in violation of Penal Code Section 182.
Like, what?
And then just moments later.
We, the jury, in the above entitled cause, find the defendant, Weldon K. McDavid, guilty
Show her.
Come on, God, cameraman.
commit murder.
You still get this, which is great.
Give her smelling salt.
She
Smelling
needs a salt bad.
At one point, Diana Lovejoy completely passed out.
Bailiff's like, I don't know. What do I do?
I don't know. Tweak her nipple, I don't know.
Diana
Bailiff
Lovejoy would
could have
regain
given a
consciousness.
shit.
Then she was bound by
Here-
her feet
here you
and
go.
her hands
Here you
and
go.
led out of court by firefighters.
On a
Back in
stretcher.
court, Weldon McDavid Jr. was convicted on all counts of attempted murder,
Yeah.
conspiracy to murder, and assault
Yeah.
with a deadly weapon.
I don't blame her, man.
Yeah, that would be like,
Facing
dude,
that.
one of those moments where it's like, it just hits you. You know, oh my God,
Your
it's over.
world
It's
is coming to an end.
over. So yeah, paramedics took her out of the courthouse. They took her to the hospital to get treatment. They probably just gave her a smelling salt. It's probably all they did.
Well, I mean, couldn't you fake that? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, she could just be like, they're not gonna, like, what do you think is gonna happen? They're not gonna not arrest you, Sel. You don't think you could fake it? You don't think you could just?
I do think you could fake it, but what are you? Yeah, I mean, sure, you could
I don't
fake it.
know why-
Where are you going with this,
I
though,
guess it's
E?
just funny to me that.
No, they are not going to let her go. She was just
That's not
sentenced
what
for
I'm
murder.
saying. I guess never mind.
She was just found guilty for murder. She's awaiting sentencing. She is going
Attempted
to jail
murder.
for a long, long time.
Yes.
No, that is implausible that she could be
That was-
faking it
I
in order
guess-
to get out of it.
Is
No,
that
not
what
to
you were
get out.
suggesting?
Yes, it was.
No,
Is that what he was
that's not
saying?
I-
No.
Absolutely, it was.
No, I was just saying.
Rewind
I'd
the
be-
tape. I wanna
I'd
go
be
back.
interested in-
Instant replay.
I'd just be interested to see when she got to the hospital. What really, like, the doctor, like, look, dude, you're not like, can't they prove that, like, dude, you're not, you didn't faint. You just.
I don't know if you can prove that.
That's what I guess that was my. Never mind. I wasn't saying she was getting out of the. I wasn't trying to say she was getting out of the sentence.
It delayed her co-defendant, his thing, so he had to wait in line now because they had to take her out. They had to get the jury out of there, get everyone out of there. But 50-year-old gun instructor Weldon McDavid. So yeah, they were. So this chick and her husband were in this messy custody battle over a kid. She was trying everything. She was throwing everything at the wall, hoping it would stick. He molested our son, and then he sexually assaulted me too. And they're like, whatever, dude. And so she was ordered to pay him like $120,000 as their legal fight was coming to an end, and they were going to have joint custody of the kid. And so yeah, she decides to hire this ex-Marine guy to kill him. And so the husband, this is so like out of a bad movie or something, but he gets a phone call from someone. I'm a private investigator. I've got some information on your wife. And he's like, So I need you to drive to a deserted road where you will find a package regarding your ex-wife. And this guy's like, okay, and goes there, and that's where McDavid was, and shot him under the left armpit.
Oof.
And yeah, and McDavid, a former Marine, testified like, dude, I'm a trained marksman. If I actually wanted to kill this dude, I would have killed him. I could have killed him. But they were like, yeah, guilty anyways. And so she's facing 25 years.
That's an argument.
It's not.
I just shot him. I just wanted him to run away.
Yeah, I just wanted to shoot him under the armpit. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. But he's facing 50 years to life, and she's facing 25. I would think you would throw the book at her bigly. I mean, she's hired this guy. It's basically. Does that ever work? By the way, does that plot ever work?
I don't know, because maybe you don't hear about the ones that do.
Maybe. I mean, I know if you've hired someone to kill your ex and you got away with it, you're probably not going to want to talk about it now. But
we don't hear those stories.
Yeah, it seems like
you hear the ones that are foiled.
Yeah, but you see this a lot, like on Dateline or 2020. A couple times a year they'll have this story where
unless you know somebody directly who's going to do the hit, you're taking a huge freaking chance, because usually that guy that you contact through that guy is an undercover. Cop at that point.
It's just, you look at this woman who's wide-eyed and faints in court. It's like, Miss Lovejoy, let's think about this for a second. You're living in San Diego, California. The sun is always shining. You've got a wonderful young son. You're living in suburbia. You obviously have money. You've been ordered to pay your husband 120 grand. So you decide to kill him. Now what? Like, everything is fucking done. Your life is ruined, and it's like, well, hope that was worth it.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't know why people can't look a little bit down the road. They must get tunnel vision, like, must kill him and throw all caution out the window.
It's probably like a slow boil, you know? I mean, she's trying to get custody, and that's going badly, and this and that, and it's just step by step, and all of a sudden you're finding yourself in this situation where you're like, yeah, I should just kill the guy. It'd be easier to just kill the guy.
People need to hear this and heed this advice. You're not that smart. When push comes to shove, you're the first person they're going to look at, and the cops are really good at what they do. Yeah. They are. Go ahead.
Zod M59 Dodge Ram's Black Friday sales event only happens once a year. Unfortunately, it's happening right now. At least the award-winning new 18 all-wheel drive Dodge Charger GT at just $249 a month. This is a 24-month lease on a loaded all-wheel drive Dodge Charger at just $249 a month. And when Zod M59 Dodge Ram's Black Friday sales event ends, so does this irresistible deal. See details and their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Hey, do you remember Tom Sizemore? Do you remember the actor?
Yeah, absolutely. He was in Saving Private Ryan, some other stuff, and major drug addict, right? I mean, he had huge problems, very public.
Yeah, he got busted too when he had to give those drug tests like every week. He had to go in, and he was caught with a prosthetic dick.
A weenus. Wasn't there
the Wizinator?
Yes. Wasn't there a porn
Heidi Fleiss
movie? Was it? Okay.
He dated Heidi Fleiss for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah. But dude, this is one of the saddest stories in Hollywood. Like, Tom Sizemore was on this. He was working with the best, the Tom Hankses, the Al Pacinos, the De Niros. Like, he was that guy. Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down, Heat, and now they're saying
he also in Reservoir Dogs? Or am I imagining that? Quentin
maybe
Tarantino?
it would have been around that time. Yeah, I don't know.
He might have been Mr.
He's from Detroit too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he in Reservoir Dogs?
I think you
People
might
are
be right,
screaming
dude.
at their phones.
Yeah, that's
yes,
okay.
you asshole.
I guess I can here.
Yeah,
Well,
how about Tom Sizemore Reservoir
Yeah.
Dogs? See if anything
Good
comes
luck,
up.
Reservoir.
Yeah, I know.
Reservoir. Care to take a stab at it?
no,
Reservoir.
I'm not gonna.
No, come on. Just tell us what you're going to type in here. Tom Sizemore.
I did,
Let's,
but I
let's
do-
assume you get Tom Sizemore.
I was gonna do what I. Well, you don't have to do any of that with Google, by the way.
If you were to type Reservoir, what would you do?
I would have typed RES into Google with his name, and that's what would have happened. You don't need to spell it right.
So it looks like
He's in it.
okay, auditioned 6 times for the part of Mr. Pink in Reservoir Dogs, but he wasn't Mr. Pink, was he?
No, that was Buscemi.
Yeah.
Why do we have to be Mr. Pink?
Well, look it up. See if he was in that for sure.
Was he
dude.
Mr. Brown? Who was he?
Yeah, he figured it out. So he's been accused of sexually assaulting a young girl on the set of Born Killers, which I guess they were doing a photo shoot at the to promote this thing back in 2003, and the girl played a minor role in the movie. And
This
so
is not to be confused with Natural Born Killers or Born of Earth.
yes,
This is Born Killers.
Born of Earth. Is that the?
That's K-Dog's K-Dog's movie.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. I was thinking of what's the one that stupid one that Travolta did about the Scientology thing? Wasn't it Born of something?
Battle Earth or something like that?
Oh, maybe. So anyway, they've got this little girl sitting on his lap for this photo shoot. And so the story goes that she sits on his lap for the picture, and he allegedly either rubbed his finger against the girl's vagine or inserted it into her vagine, which sounds remarkable for a photo shoot surrounded by cast that you would do that.
Yeah, that does.
That's, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it didn't happen, but the girl was so young, it was unclear to her and later her parents what had actually taken place and if it was intentional or not. Can you accidentally slip a finger into a vagina?
No.
You can't. I wouldn't think
Nope.
so.
Not unless there's a corresponding fall of some sort.
And it would have to be one of those, like, you're really trying to catch
grasping,
yourself.
like, whoa! Yeah.
And then you just
And she has to be perfectly placed.
And she's got to be nude, like literally laying on her back, presenting almost, for that to be believable. The casting director received a call the following day from her agent, and one of the cast members, Robin, Adamson said she'd been on set for the photo shoot, but had been apart and standing by the photographer when she noticed the girl suddenly appeared alarmed. At one point, her eyes just got huge, like she could have vomited. I was watching her. She soon reintegrated and kept going, although she had trouble taking direction. Later, when I was told what happened, I knew exactly what it was. Sizemore is, strongly denied any of this. I've done a lot of awful things. I'd never do anything with kids. He was sent home. They were like, get out of here, you.
How old was she at the time?
11.
Oh, man.
Yeah. The victim is now 26, doesn't want to be identified, but is said to be considering legal action. Couldn't we just find out who the 11-year-old kid was in Born Killers?
Yeah.
I mean, I think, you don't want to be identified. How many 11-year-old girls were in that movie? Can't we find the poster with her sitting on his lap? And oh, she doesn't want to be ID'd. All right.
A modicum of investigation work could do that, yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to know.
1-2 Bing searches maybe
Yeah.
to piece that together. News of the allegations spread through the crew like wildfire after Sizemore was sent home. The little girl said what she said, and we all thought, that fucking sleazebag. There was never any doubt. He was this guy who was already known for making inappropriate comments, being drunk, being high. We're talking about consistent behavior, just being Tom Sizemore on the set every day. Then this happens. Guys reached for hammers. The producer was livid with himself. He had to stop a group of us from going to visit Sizemore to kick this guy's ass. They were going after him. They did all review these photos, and they're like, yeah, we couldn't see anything that was incriminating. I'm like, God, those photo shoots, those cameras are just going a mile a minute. You would think if something like that happened, that you would have some sort of
indication, if not the actual moment.
It's weird. The girl's parents never pressed charges, and the producers are like, well, since we can't play judge, jury, and executioner, we might as well bring Tom back on the set and finish the shoot. And so they did. He came back and finished his stuff. So yeah, he's had quite a few run-ins. Actually blew up one of the most promising careers in the history of Hollywood, really. I mean, it was on for him.
Yeah. And you know what, dude? I'm looking at the roles in Reservoir Dogs. I don't see him. Was he not in this season?
It just looks to me like that he had that thing where he auditioned 6 times.
Yeah, I might be thinking of that, maybe that story, and then getting him confused with Chris Penn.
Oh, you are, because Chris Penn is definitely in it.
So you got Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Michael Madsen, Chris Penn, Steve Buscemi, Lawrence Tierney, Edward Bunker as Mr. Blue, and then Quentin Tarantino as Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
And
what a great cast.
Sizemore's nowhere to be found. I'm glad he wasn't Mr. Pink, dude. Buscemi?
Buscemi's amazing.
Push aside Buscemi for Sizemore? Are you kidding me?
No way. He hit rock bottom, they say, when he was forced to squat. Like, he had lost everything. He actually goes to Jack Nicholson and hits him up for a $10 million loan.
Just 10 mil. Just 10.
All I need is 10 mil just to get back on my feet. And Jack's like, yeah, I don't think so, Tom. And so Tom's like, fine. And so he left, and he had to squat in this abandoned shack, no electricity, no water. And he's like, well, I was pretty handy, so I went over and I tapped into someone's electricity.
God, man.
Tapped into the water.
Imagine that. You're set for life, and then you're on to that shit.
I stole some electricity from the telephone pole, redirected some water. That was not cool. That was not cool of me to steal all that. Yeah, at one time he had millions of dollars in the bank. Millions of dollars in the bank.
Yeah, and he was definitely in a porn movie. I remember him stooping to that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good when it gets there. When you're doing porn movies, coming from where he was. I think he's trying to make a comeback now. He claims he's been sober for 4 years. He's a great interview, though. I know that because he's at least open about that stuff.
Get him on the phone. He's a Detroit native. He'd love to come on the Detroit cast, I'm sure.
Sounds okay.
I'll check really quick because he came in studio, I think, with us at one point.
Be good to catch up with Tom.
Yeah. No, I don't have his number.
Well, I'm sure we'll leave E to that. And
Sizemore by Thursday. Roy Moore. More coming on Roy Moore. It sounds an awful lot like this guy was just into young chicks.
Sounds like it.
Bigly. He's the Republican Senate candidate, Roy Moore. Apparently he was banned from a mall in Alabama.
Oh.
Dude, do you know what...
For scoping young chicks?
Yes. Do you know what kind of a creep you have to be banned from a mall? So, yeah, this is in the 80s. The Washington Post is reporting that he had a sexual encounter with a 14-year-old girl.
How old was he in the 80s?
He was 32 with the 14-year-old. So I think he's 70-something now. Lee Korfman said that Moore brought her to his home and then molested her. 3 other women said Moore approached them when they were between 16 and 18. And then on Monday, Beverly Nelson said she thought Moore was going to rape her.
Flanked by Gloria Allred.
I know. As soon as I just...
You just lose credibility when you're
you
flanked
do.
by Allred
Yes.
or her daughter.
Yes. It's probably terrible to say, but it's like, oh, here we go again, Gloria. Fuck this chick. I immediately
I know.
It was probably horrible for her. Probably true.
If your intention is to get your story out in a credible manner, why the hell are you flanked by Gloria Allred?
Yeah, I feel the same way with anytime
immediately
Al
just-
Sharpton shows up. It's like, dude.
It immediately just screams, I'm looking for money.
Yeah. Yep.
Looking
and
for
publicity. I want to be on all the news channels, and my idiot lawyer does too. And same with Sharpton. As soon as you see Sharpton, I write off a story. I hope people know that. Like, you immediately 60% of the country goes, oh, fuck you. And that's not all just
At
white
least
people.
60.
Black people do the same thing. Go, oh, for fuck's sakes, really? You brought Sharpton in the mix? Come on, man.
And not the doughy, supple, mustachioed Sharpton that we
no,
all
the
love in a
medallion.
tracksuit.
Oh,
Not that one. Rather a skinny...
that raisinette-looking
Raisinette
motherfucker.
dude.
Ugh, awful. So, anyways, she says that Beverly Nelson says that she thought Moore was going to rape her when she was a high school student waiting tables. More than a dozen sources told the New Yorker that they had heard over the years that Moore had been banned from the mall for repeatedly badgering teenage girls. He was a regular visitor to the mall, usually alone. It was common knowledge that Roy Moore dated high school girls. Everyone thought it was weird. We wondered why someone his age would hang out at a high school football game or at the mall. What?
Hot topic.
But you really wouldn't say anything to someone like that, because I mean he's this respected.
You go to the mall all
Let's
the time.
ask why a 30-some-year-old would hang out
But
at the mall.
I just like walking around the mall.
You're not trolling for chicks?
E.
I like going to. I like window shopping. I like going into stores and like looking at things.
You
I mean, of course, I look at girls when I'm there. I guess.
I'm going to
but
Sharper Image and sitting in the massage chair.
Sharper Image doesn't exist anymore.
it doesn't.
Not in the mall.
I didn't know
actually
that.
believe you can still go online for
How
Sharper
does,
Image.
how
but
does Sharper Image still exist? Honestly.
I'm
Well,
serious.
they've
that
got some
thing-
cool shit.
I know it exists because I received a catalog just the
Okay.
other day. We're in
But
catalog
there's not-
season right now
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah,
the
yeah.
Yuletide coming
Sure.
up. So you're getting all these fucking catalogs. One was Sharper Image. That shit sucks and always has. That shit was always overpriced bullshit made in China. It's real, these massager. That's a vibrator.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
That's true, but some of those chairs I could kick back in those and just be like,
Or it'd be like a pen with a clock on it, right? and
yeah,
just
or
stuff
there'd
like
be like a faux stormtrooper standing there for like $8,000. You
Yeah.
can buy this faux stormtrooper.
they would have like little waterfalls. Those
Stupid
like
shit.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, I
Stupid.
could see that on my mantle.
But it was always it wasn't nice enough where like the people who could really afford it would want it.
Yeah.
It was always cheesy and plastic. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
See, I liked Sharper Image as a kid.
Yeah, but kids, sure, when you're in
Yeah.
middle school, like, wow, that's awesome. That's like a little waterfall. I could put it on my desk.
Yeah.
But dude, older people with real desks, they
Yeah.
don't want that on their desk.
no, they don't. I wouldn't mind going in there now because it's been years. I
Doesn't
haven't been.
exist. It's only catalog. I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? They don't. See, I would think that would survive in a mall. That seems like something that could survive in a mall. I don't know how they have a bookstore in a mall. How do you keep that going?
I don't think there are.
Well,
think
people,
there are.
no, for one,
There are
two
bookstores in
things.
malls?
For one,
Yeah.
Are there bookstores?
there are still
think
bookstores,
so.
and
There's
people,
the TDC bookstore.
of course.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. that's
Under the
it.
Help the Show tab.
That's
Yeah.
right.
DetroitCast.com.
Yeah, you're right. There
really
is that.
goes
I
to
won't even
our,
go into the other
our
bookstores.
Amazon link
but
too. It's beautiful.
No, Sharper Image isn't in a mall anymore. There are malls with bookstores attached to them still, but that's a different, dude. People are still buying books. In fact, I think the statistics say that that's gone up. Like people did not get into
The
as
Kindle.
much the Kindle and stuff as people did the eyes
I'm
and the
with you,
screens.
dude. I'd
and
rather
stuff.
crack a real book for sure.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Now, it doesn't mean it just won't eventually be all online, but the Sharper Image is definitely not, at least in the Novi Mall anymore. I think it's just cataloging online now.
So what are the big things at the malls right now? Like candle stores and
yeah, you
Oh,
still
lots
got
of candle
those.
stores. Hallmark is still
you
there.
know, shit like Sears and J.C. Penney's on its
Staples.
way out. All that shit.
I mean, it's still there, though.
And occasionally, does Hudson still exist?
No,
Hudson's and Macy's.
Macy's.
Okay, we got a Macy's on one end. Keep that shit away from Penny.
Got the anchors.
Penny does not want to.
Well, I mean,
Well,
they all
I
go.
got 12 Oaks in my mind. So you had
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sears,
Zoom-
J.C. Penney, Hudson's, and
Now they have
Lord and
Marshall,
Lord and Taylor.
Lord and Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord and Taylor. I hated Lord and Taylor.
Oh, it's just,
My mom liked Lord and Taylor.
Yeah, that was out of my range.
It is funny when you were a kid.
Was it?
Because I actually loved
Lord
them
and
all.
Taylor was out of.
Fuck yes. I never stepped foot in a Lord and Taylor, dude.
Where'd you go?
Sears,
Wait,
J.C. Penney's.
Did you buy? Were you buying tools or clothes?
Clothes.
J.C. Penney.
Do we
wow.
need to rewind? I was. I had a very humble set of
No,
clothing.
you had cheap fucking parents who were both professionals and worked hard. They were cheap.
Yeah.
JC, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Whatever. I know what you're saying, but I do honestly, legitimately just like walking around the mall. I don't. I've always been like that, though.
Let's be honest. You have occasionally come in here and been like, dude,
Yeah.
16-year-olds, they look way more older than they used to. And
Yeah, I've said that, but that's not like the reason I go to the mall.
isn't that basically what Roy Moore was doing? He was
No.
just oogling it, you know.
No, not basically the same.
Roy,
Do not even
do you think Roy Moore had a TCG with him, like a wingman walking around the mall?
You do not.
'Cause I'd love
you
to
will
talk to
not
that guy.
put me in that category, you son of a bitch. The
What?
notion that you're talking about a guy who's like literally harassing girls. I'm just walking around
Well,
the mall.
Hold on, you wouldn't go out with a 16-year-old?
No.
Lie.
16-year-old? No.
18.
Fuck yes, you would. Hell yes, you would.
We've
If you-
decided 18 is okay. If we want to make 20 the place that's an adult, then that's when I won't date a 20-year-old.
A 16-year-old hot black chick is all over you.
and it's
What do you
legal.
do, E?
16 is the legal age of consent.
I'm not gonna.
Hell yes, you are. E. You're in there.
I'm not gonna get it down that path. But if you're gonna ask an 18-year-old, yeah, you know what? We've decided 18 is an adult. So if you want to make a 20-year-old an adult, then that 20-year-old's an adult. I do think, having said
If
that,
there's
though,
grass on the infield, play ball.
I have said this.
What I've always said.
No, I will say this. This is absolutely bet. I've said that statement for a long time. Like 18-year-old, whatever, as long as they're 18. I do think at this point, I've realized a few times that I've hung out with some younger people that I think they'd have to at least be 21. Only because I gotta be able to take them to get a drink, man. Like this notion that I can't take a date and get a beer or something.
Yeah, but E, you can just go buy the alcohol and then bring her back to your place.
Yeah, I like going out.
That's
though,
even
for one,
better.
and I
'cause
don't have a place.
Now you're not
so-
competing with others in the bar. Because if you bring a hot young chick into the bar, it's a good likelihood that someone's going to steal her from you.
I don't
But if
have
you
a
just take her
place
back to your crib,
look it. Look,
apply her with alcohol.
Look,
E,
you're
just-
not
To be
gonna make
clear,
me-
E, the age of consent in Michigan
It's
is
16.
16.
Yeah, you
It
gotta
is.
have like a written consent form from their
dude, she's
parent or something.
smoking hot and black. 16. She's got her license, doesn't have a car.
Look at dude.
They're all
I
pink
told
inside.
you 18 is what I've said. Okay, so look at
16
you're already
in Alabama,
You're
too.
already getting
Yeah.
me on something that people are going to call me a creep on anyway. So I'm going to let you
They're
know
already
that
doing
the
that
legal,
anyways,
well,
who
the legal
cares?
age is 18. So that's what I. Look,
Unlike most 30-something-year-olds, E, you actually would have something in common with 18,
I
19,
would do better
20-year-olds.
with
You would.
18-year-olds than most. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yep. Former mall employee Greg Leggett, they talked to him. He's like, oh, yeah, the band started around 1979, I think. I know the band was still in place when I got there.
That's awesome, man.
That's hilarious. Oh, 2 police officers in the area at the time told the magazine that general knowledge at the time when I moved here was that this guy is a lawyer cruising the mall for high school dates. These stories have been going around this town for 30 years. Nobody could believe they hadn't come out yet.
Isn't the move right now just to remove this guy and put Sessions back into that Senate
would
seat
fit.
in Alabama?
Yeah, yeah.
Trump hates Sessions anyway as AG. Just
And he
replace
scares
him.
me.
That little elf-looking...
Dude, the whole... I just picture him living in a tree.
Yeah.
Making cookies.
He's Keeblerian.
Yeah, he's very Keeblerian. It's uncanny.
But right, put him back in there, then the special election doesn't even have to happen, and there's
Yeah.
there's not the upset to the numbers in the Senate.
Yeah. Could they do that?
I think so.
He could just go back to his... Well, yeah, I guess he
Sessions may not take it, but
Yeah.
he could be removed. And
Beverly Nelson, going back to her, she said in her emotional press conference that she first met Moore when he was the DA. She was a high school student waiting tables at the old Hickory House. God, it sounds delicious, doesn't it?
just that, yeah, just the name of that.
You guys want to meet up at the old Hickory House, grab
Sure.
some lunch?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. She was 15. As soon as she turned 16, Moore offered her a ride home one cold winter night. After getting in the car, Moore drove to the back of the parking lot, pulled up next to a dumpster where he parked, and then began to just like grope titty. He was all over the titties. She asked him to stop, and when she tried to get out of the vehicle, he locked the door and grabbed her neck in an attempt he was trying to like pull her head, get down on my crotch
This
area.
is the chick who spoke with Gloria Allred
Yes.
yesterday at her side. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, this is at the mall.
I continued to struggle. I was determined that I was not going to allow him to force me to have sex with him. He was also trying to pull my shirt off. I thought he was going to rape me. She was able to get out of the car, and Moore told her to keep quiet. He said, "You're just a child. I'm the district attorney of Etowah County.
Whoa!
If you tell anyone about this, no one's going to believe you."
Dude, didn't he sign her yearbook with the initials DA?
Yeah.
He should be removed for that reason only.
Probably.
Douche.
I would agree. Yeah.
He signs a girl's yearbook when he's the district attorney.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Seems a little
Roy
odd.
Moore, DA.
DA. D period A period. What a weirdo. Gloria Allred did say she's willing to testify under oath. You know,
Well, and I think she started her statement by saying, look, this is not politically driven. I voted for Trump. This has nothing to do with
Really?
Republican versus Democrat.
Wow.
But this happened to me.
He is. I can't believe he's like going down swinging. He is going. You know, this is a witch hunt period. He said Gloria Allred is a sensationalist leading a witch hunt. She is only around to create a spectacle.
See, isn't that funny that she leaves this door open, this crack open for somebody
Yeah.
to attack it like that? And people do go, well, you know, she is kind of a sensationalist.
It is Allred.
Like,
And-
go get a real lawyer, just a normal lawyer that isn't known
Yeah.
nationally, and have that person stand up next to you and do what you did.
easy. But and that would get the press because of who he is and these stories that are going on. You don't need Gloria Allred. You really don't. So he says Allred was the attorney who claims credit for giving Roe v. Wade giving us Roe v. Wade, which has resulted in the murder of tens of millions of unborn babies.
Wow, changing the subject.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, he's trying to. He's like,
He's doing
look, my
anything.
base.
Yeah.
Look, don't forget, I'm the one that wants abortion to be illegal. You know, like he's really ginning that thing. And
What a response.
I was reading an article out of Alabama, one of the Alabama papers the other day, and it's like, majority of Alabamans are with him, are like side with him, and part of it is because they can point back to, well, you know, older men being with young girls is biblical. This is a biblical thing. Talking about Joseph or something,
So just
and
fundamentally, it's not a big issue for him.
not that big a deal. Plus, they think that you know,
It's a
people on
witch
the
hunt.
left are witch hunt, and so you mix the two, and it's like, yeah, Alabama's a weird fucking place.
So what are they polling right now? Do you know?
I have no idea. He was up by like 7 points, but then now it's like a dead heat. So it's, you know, yeah, but some people are standing with him. His wife has come out. Kayla posted a statement. We knew something was coming. This is the same Gloria Allred that did the very exact same thing to Trump during his
See,
campaign.
isn't that something, dude? They're all attacking Gloria Allred.
Yeah, yeah. Boy, oh boy, I don't know, man. That if it would be so hard to find 12 people to go on the record for a story, including police officers,
Yeah.
former mall employees, just some guy. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. He was the district attorney. You wouldn't forget the district attorney. That's a big deal. And so this guy's trolling for young chicks. Of course, these people remember it. So I don't know how he.
And you'd think there'd be more if it was so obvious and
Yeah.
dude's banned from a mall. You'd think they'd be able to drum up 3 or 4 more people.
Oh yeah, they probably will too. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. I just his interview with Sean Hannity was it was just bad. You know, oh that would be against my character or something like that. It was like, dude.
Did you hear in that regard, Hannity called off the dogs on Keurig because a bunch of GOP supporters were smashing their Keurigs because Keurig
Yes.
pulled their ads. Well, Keurig came out and said, look, we didn't mean to take sides. Please
Yeah.
forgive us, sort of thing.
And they
so Hannity,
reinstated.
Yeah, and Hannity was like, okay, stop doing that.
Yeah.
No need to kill your Keurig.
But he was playing video too of people like chucking their
Yeah.
like
People
child,
tweeting.
stop it. Really? Are we throwing a $200 coffee
Sledgehammer
machine?
to the Keurig.
It's kind of cool that people would go that far to support someone they believed in, but yeah, it's, I don't know, silly.
Hey, Wasik Insurance Services, they are the choice for all types of insurances, auto, home, life, business, commercial, and more. Owner Brent Wasik has 29 years in the business. Call him today for a free, no-obligation quote, 734-455-1900. Brent will personally assist you, not some random employee sales guy. He can review your current policies free of charge and give you recommendations. Brent's an awesome guy, easy to work with, loves the Detroit Cast like you. So call him today, 734-455-1900, and really, he is very easy to work with. And
Yeah, he's awesome.
There's no downside to it. Show him what you have currently,
Yeah.
and he'll see what he can do in terms of saving you some money, and it's easy.
I'm so glad that's the case with all of our sponsors, you know. Brent,
people, easy
none
to
of them
work
are going to
with.
be total dicks to you, hang up, call you an asshole, anything. Like Merck won't do
Not
that.
typically, no.
No, Gabbara.
That'd be out of character.
It would be very out of character. Maybe Gabbara. Gabbara might call you an asshole and hang up on you, but that's rare.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what,
mostly
3 or
be
4
under
times
his
a year.
breath. Fucking asshole.
Fucking asshole. You'll hear it,
God, you
but
fucking asshole.
you'll have to go, what was that? And they'll go, nothing,
nothing.
and just hang up.
Buy and explore, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking.
But that's the only one.
Yeah.
All the others, absolute peaches to work with.
They'll hang up before they call you an asshole.
Yeah, they will. They'll hang up and go, what a fucking asshole. That's for sure. But, you know, everyone else is going to do that anyways. John Travolta has been named in a criminal complaint by a 21-year-old masseuse.
Are you surprised?
No, I was like, wait a minute. Is this story from 96 or 2000?
Right.
Or, like, how many masseuses can this guy fondle? Masseurs. Like, dude, Travolta, why do these guys think their dick is such a gift to people?
I don't know.
Like, maybe yours is, but it's very...
Look, can we stop this?
It's very rare
I
that...
very likely have a very average sized penis. Please.
Well,
Don't worry,
whatever.
I will never reference that. Mike's the only one who references it. So
Thank you, Isis. And I'll try not to reference the fact that you're retarded. Okay? Truce.
Anyway,
I kind of tipped my cap or whatever.
Travolta apparently groped this guy's bare buttocks.
Of course
Now-
he did.
Now, why is your buttocks bare in front of Travolta? If you're the
You ought to know
masseur.
better.
Come on, man. What are we doing here? Yeah, he exposed himself during a deep body massage at the La Quinta Hotel in Palm Springs. Travolta also made lewd remarks about gay fantasies. According to documents obtained by Radar Online, Travolta wanted a more intimate rub down and even removed the towel exposing his buttocks. So this guy's like, the towel fell off. Let me put that back on your buttocks. And it was like, oops. Travolta just keeps pulling the towel off his
Just buy
Fucking-
one.
I know. What a
Just,
fucking
dude, you
horny
can buy
asshole.
people that do massages with happy endings. You can pay for it by the hour. Do they? I just.
Here's where, like, okay, you're sending mixed signals here to Jonathan, right? Because once that's over, it's like, all right, you've done your towel trick. I get it. It's cute. It was funny the first time. I saw your buttocks. It's okay. Once that was done, they went into another room where the masseur performed what he called a citrus scrub. Oh, a citrus scrub sounds delicious, doesn't it? Once the scrub was complete, they moved to the steam room. All right, this is a place of employment, sir. You're a masseur. Why are you going to the steam room with Travolta?
No. I mean, honestly, how these Hollywood people are, don't they have these really fancy massage places that like have several levels of the massage? Like you
Sure.
do the stones,
Yeah,
then it's
probably.
So I'm just wondering, is that what this is, or is he at his
Yeah,
home?
yeah.
the next step.
He's at a spa retreat, you know, in Palm Springs.
Oh,
So,
dude,
yeah.
I could use a massage, man.
God damn it, me too.
I don't know about the citrus oil or whatever you said, but I could just use a fucking massage.
Dude, I am up for trying a citrus scrub. I got to be honest with you. I really, really am.
Cucumbers over the eyes.
Hell yeah. Warm hot towel on the brow.
Oh, but are you questioning why is he moving on because he's done the towel trick? Is that what you're?
Well, so Travolta's like, why don't you come into the steam room with me? I don't want to be alone. You know? So the guy's like, fine. And so the two of them go in there. They're toweled, both of them, which seems like,
Yeah,
dude, you're
shouldn't the
working here.
masseuse
Oh,
be
okay,
wearing
yeah,
some
the white
garb?
like, right? Whatever, white
So-
pants, white shirt, or
Yeah.
something.
Tucked in, looking
Yeah.
proper.
scrub-looking thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
They were both wearing towels initially, but all of a sudden Travolta removed his. Which, you know, it's his steam. It's his steam, and guys do that. I can't fault him for that. And then he was like, let me demonstrate my massage techniques on you. And so the guy's like, fine. And so he lays down on his stomach, and Travolta immediately like removes his towel and starts going at his deep tissue in his buttocks. And then he says, and the crevice in between. I'm like, oh, John. He's talking about his butt crack.
Yeah.
Right? He did that move where you work the inner thigh up, you know, you start going close.
Sure. The
And-
crevasse.
Yeah, and who hasn't performed that move? Shit, I think I did it last week. You know, you just get in there and it's like, oh wow, did I just touch a majora?
As if your lady friend is at all surprised that that's where you're going. Like, oh, I'm just going to do the inner thigh. Just the groin area there.
just
Okay,
get
no,
in there and
done.
really
done.
work
See you
that-
tomorrow. Yeah, right.
Hope that was good for you. Now,
No, you can almost set your watch to it. In 35 seconds, you will be on menorah. Soon to be.
yes. He begins rubbing his bare buttocks as well as the groove between.
Betwixt.
The masseur felt uncomfortable and left. Travolta followed. Go, let me soap you up. Let me soap up your back while you shower. Okay? Travolta asked, hey, you ever have your asshole licked by another man?
Oh, no.
You ever get your butthole licked by another man? Tastes like tinfoil. Baby! Tastes like tinfoil.
John Travolta, man.
And if so, would you tell me what it was like so I can fantasize about it later? John, what a horrible
Happily
question.
married presently to Kelly Preston.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What a horrible question to ask someone. You ever get your asshole licked by another man?
Well, there's no dilly-dally and no beating around the bush, you know?
This isn't the first time he's been accused of misconduct by a masseur.
How many has it been, honestly?
In 2012, he was sued over accusations he tried to have sex with a masseur during a therapy session. He was said to have touched the unnamed therapist's dick and balls during a $200 an hour massage appointment. Travolta stripped naked, just fucking rock. And being massaged for a while, at the same time trying to remove the towel covering his bottom. After the session was over, Travolta touched the man's balls and penis, which seems out of line. The guy pulled away and was like, "I'm a professional masseur, not a prostitute." And he said, "I guess we got our signals crossed." And then he said, "Come on, dude, I'll jerk you off."
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then during another encounter, apparently he masturbated in front of a masseuse. And then remember the pictures that went around where he was like kissing that guy on the runway in Canada?
Yeah.
When he was getting ready to get on his own jet.
That's right. He owns his own, like, passenger-sized jet.
Like a 747. Yeah. Ugh.
For, like, him and his 2 kids or something, you know?
I wonder why he won't just come out as gay, because every accusation against him, like the Church of Scientology hooked them up. They got married. Kelly Preston, they're still married. Mm-hmm. I think he's got a couple kids, one named Jet.
Jet. Yeah, I remember that.
It's my son, Jet. Yeah. But every time you hear of an accusation, it's some fucking masseuse, some masseur somewhere. It's like, you know, he can't stop. He can't stop. Hey, E, I told you we'd talk Simpsons. Simpson? We'll do that after the break. And did you see GQ magazine named their Citizen of the Year?
Did. Colin Kaepernick.
Wow, congratulations, Colin. Well-deserved.
You fell into a controversy.
Wow, dude, this reminds me of Vanity Fair putting, you know, Woman of the Year on the cover or whatever, Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, right.
Remember that? Or was it Sports Illustrated that put her on the... Well, I think everybody put her on the cover, but...
Or him, or whatever.
Right. Britt McHenry took issue with this. Remember Britt McHenry? I think she got into a fight with someone. She's the former ESPN. Was it the parking lot?
It's a parking lot attendant, yeah.
Yeah, and she was like...
She was a real bitch about it.
Yeah, nice teeth.
Don't you know who I am?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the
like
parking lot attendant's like, yeah, your car's being towed.
It got impounded.
Yeah,
it's
whatever.
$170. I don't know
so
what
this
to tell
lady's
ya.
taking it out on the parking lot attendant lady.
Yeah.
As if she, you know, impounded the truck or something.
And everybody hates that. We've all had a car impounded, and you got to go deal with some, you know, fenced-in yard and that woman. But it's not her fault.
Have we all had a car impounded?
Yeah, I have.
Can we go around the horn? E? Of course
I
you
had.
have.
No, you know what? Mine was bullshit. Okay.
all of ours were bullshit.
No. Mine was so ridiculous, but it doesn't. It was an Tigers opening day. I parked in a lot where several other cars were. No signs on the lot.
He does not like to pay for parking.
I know.
No
claims he never has downtown.
I don't. Not that I never have, but I fight it as hard as I can. But no, I parked in this lot. No signs. No one there to take money. Problem is, I'm there at like 8 in the morning, I guess. And there was
guy to take money showed up at about 8:30, probably.
Get
this car out of here.
There's no signs on the lot saying this is a parking lot. Nothing. And then all of a sudden, you know, I come back and yeah, it's towed. They won't even tell me where it's towed to. We could have not. You know what? My dad sided with me on this in the end.
Gone.
We had a guy. He told me the guy.
Why would they even tell you it was towed? I would just assume it got stolen.
Because they took like 10 different cars. 10 of us, or 10 or 20 people of us are sitting here.
Don't they get kickbacks from the tow company?
Probably.
Like they have, you know, Buckhorn Towing or
something.
There
was a guy who I guess was a lawyer. I know that doesn't mean necessarily anything, but he was a lawyer in.
No, it doesn't.
I know, but he was part of that, and he was like, he contacted me afterwards, and he was like, "Man, we're gonna." And I'm like, "What am I gonna
take it all the way to the Supreme Court?"
Yeah,
he wanted to sue on your behalf.
No, I don't know I don't know what the deal was gonna be, but
he makes $10 a man. He gets 10 people. That's $100, dude. That's a good day's work.
Great point.
Not bad.
You know, fuck you.
I was ragging on the lawyer, not you. Fuckface. Relax.
I know, but it's like.
You cunt!
this lot had no marking saying it was a parking lot, nothing there.
Just figured,
Also,
hey,
they just
you know what? It's free.
there was other cars there already. I asked them. They said, I don't know. And so
Yeah.
I'm just
Then
saying.
it's gone.
Then
Okay.
it was gone.
I wanted to quickly hear your impound.
And then,
impound
yeah,
story,
it was
so-
kind of a bitch
I
to
asked
find out
for
where.
it.
Yeah.
It was a bitch to find out.
I
you
asked
know,
for the last 2 minutes. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah,
Britt McHenry, for her part, though, she came out and was tweeting about this. J.J. Watt raised over $37 million for Hurricane Harvey victims.
Great point.
$37 million. Kaepernick refused to stand for our national anthem a year ago and is Citizen of the Year. Right. And then she was like, for those who don't think I get the reason the protest, you're wrong. Eagles Malcolm Jenkins met with lawmakers to help community. Dolphins Kenny Stills met with Miami police. More examples of actual Citizens of the Year.
That's the thing, dude. Kaepernick just did this thing. He had no idea it
We
would
don't even
blow
know what
up
his
like
cause
this.
is. He
We
hasn't said
don't.
anything.
He's a
Yeah,
jackass.
He's a total fucking jackass.
That's the biggest
It's
thing.
getting more irritating that he won't say anything
Yeah.
than anything. It's like, oh, dude,
He's been
go
asked
fuck
on the
yourself.
street, microphone in his face. He's like, no comment.
Not at this time.
Moron.
So she tweets,
because
"Where's
he can't articulate it. He's a moron.
Yeah,
Even if he could articulate a stupid reason, I'd be like, well, you know,
Yeah.
it's got a reason.
Yeah.
But dude, he can't even state a reason.
wear socks depicting police officers as pigs, wear Fidel Castro as a fashion statement in Miami, sue the NFL for collusion.
Yeah, but
when-
guess
when-
what? GQ's in the news,
Yeah.
so that's why they did it.
Yeah. But this was her last tweet. Sue NFL for collusion when girlfriend compares owners to slave owners. Wins Citizen of the Year. Serving the U.S. military, nothing. What a joke, GQ. Kaepernick, for his part, tweeted that he was honored and did take a picture for the cover, but refused to say anything, preferring to stay silent.
Yeah.
Good job,
Yeah,
Colin. That's
Just showing
great.
up as Mr. Microphone on the cover, looking good.
I looked at look at that moron. I was reading Rochelle Riley. I know her column,
Free press.
in the Free Press. Yeah, and she's just like, this is so brilliant. I mean, the way he's being treated by the league is outrageous. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I'm like, Rochelle, what the fuck are you talking about? He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Stop it.
Lost some credibility right there.
Yeah,
Although
and
I
she-
do think he should be playing.
Yeah, he
I
probably
think
should.
He should be signed. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Something's going on there, Mike.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, she was going on about, he's today's Malcolm 10. He's today's, she's comparing him to all these icons,
Yeah, if
through
only he
civil
could
rights
state his
movement.
case. If
and it's
only.
like, yeah, right. It's like, really? You're going to give this guy that kind
It's
of
a
credit?
dolt.
Stop it. Anyway, congratulations, Colin. Well deserved.
Well, like I said, GQ's in the news, so that's good for them.
Yeah.
Vanity Fair does the same thing with their ridiculous covers all the time. Dude, Vanity Fair is wearing on me. Just
It's-
every freaking thing, anti-Trump, anti-Trump, anti-Trump.
Every article, yeah.
Yeah, every single thing you turn to, it's just some spin on anti-Trump. Like they have a whole thing about Hugh Hefner's death, and it's spun to involve Trump. It's like some people are saying that Hefner is to blame for the rise of Trumpism. That is not true at all. That's like the premise they begin with.
Wow.
And this is why. And then they go through and they honor Hef that way.
Yeah.
Like instead of just going, yeah, Hugh Hefner died, and this is what he
Yeah.
did, and let's remember how great he was.
Yeah, what does it have to do with Donald Trump? Well, it's just a way to stir people
Yeah.
up, I guess. But the thing with Vanity Fair is it's, 8 inches thick, and it's just perfume thing.
Remember when I did that? I went
Dude.
through about 2 months ago up in your
I do
kitchen. I'm
remember
like,
that.
I'm taking every one of these out, and I normally do take those inserts out because I can't
Well, you
stand.
shake it. You'll shake it
I've
and they'll
grieved
all
it.
fall out.
I've grieved it,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
This notion that you can't open up a magazine without going right to one of these things, and that's why they're in there, so
Yeah.
that you constantly turn into an advertisement. But I took out everything that was an advertisement in Vanity Fair, and it was a third of its original thickness.
Not even. Yeah, it was
like
hilarious.
32 pages or something.
Yes. How are they still selling that many fucking ads?
I don't know.
What are they, a penny each? It just doesn't make sense because everybody sees through this, right? Everybody sees GQ put Kaepernick on the cover and goes, oh, they're looking to sell more magazines. They're looking to get the Detroit cast talking about them because this is so outrageous. Vanity Fair puts a fat model on the cover. Why? Because they love fat models? No, because they know it's
a
gonna-
lightning rod.
It's a lightning rod. That's why they do it. And it's like, when can these things go away? Can't you just be an online piece of shit? Like, who's ordering these besides us?
It's so funny that you mentioned this, and not because it's like so many examples. Like you're right, the magazine of putting the XX model on because that's beautiful. And I was thinking about it again when I was at that EDC this weekend in Orlando because they'll do things when the DJs are up and they'll have girls on there dressed in these elaborate things dancing, and they have people walking around the thing, you know, trying to make it like a show and they're dressed up. I noticed all of them were very attractive to me. None of them seemed to be XXL
Strange.
models. None of them seemed to be, you know, special needs. I don't know, just anything. They were all exact.
Special needs.
Well, whatever version, like. But you know what I mean? All of them looked like what you, or even you know, what you guys would even say, like, yes, that's a good-looking girl. Yes, I'd be attracted to her.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that works.
The thing with that one has always bothered me because it's like there is something else going on. Usually that's just terribly unhealthy. To just be like, wow, beautiful girlfriend, absolutely gorgeous, and you have to say that. You have to say that. You can't say anything else. Because I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, fuck, that's not healthy at all. That's probably not something that should be praised. It didn't used to be like that. We've just gotten really fat. And
You're talking
now,
about the big fat asses, yeah.
yeah, the big giant fat asses, or some, you know, Ashley Graham mega monster of a model or whatever. And
Right.
it's just like, look at me, I'm gorgeous. And it's like, no, you're gross. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not gonna,
you
I'm
might
not
be a
gonna
really
play to
great
that.
human being and you're a valuable human
Yes.
being, but you're just not, you're not that beautiful.
Yeah, sorry, not magazine worthy. No offense. No offense. Neither am I. Neither am I. It's not,
Right,
it's not a shot at you.
exactly. None of us are.
Most of us aren't. Most of us aren't. All right, let's take a quick break, and then E will come back and we'll talk about your racist Simpsons. Racist show.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hi, Michael Kowalski here, fourth generation of the Kowalski meat dynasty. But you can just call me the Sausage King of Detroit. And you know what, my friends? It's time. Time to roll out the grill, crack open the Jack's potato salad, sizzle up some sausages, pass out the pierogies, ice those beers, and unfold those chairs. Because grilling season is here, and it's time. Time to eat like a king. I'm Michael Kowalski, and I approve my message.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Who's got AIDS?
I didn't give him those aids. All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast, powered by dealsinthed.com with Mike and Jay. I mentioned The Simpsons yesterday, E, and today. Are you going to watch the special, the documentary coming up on?
Well, for one, I didn't know about it, but I don't know what kind of question that is. If they, I mean,
It's got to do with The Simpsons. He's watching it.
right.
It premieres, let's see, on True TV, November 19th. It's called The Problem with Apu.
Yeah, I'll watch
Do you
it.
know Apu's full name?
Apu Nahasapita Petalon, or I don't know exactly how to pronounce it.
Close.
It's Nahasapina Petal, Nahasa...
Pima Petalon.
Pima
Apu is
Petalon.
the 7-Eleven owner or whatever.
Yeah, the owner, the Quickie Mart.
I've been shocked for
Thank
a while.
you. Come again.
I've been shocked. There's a few characters on the show that I've been shocked that I just thought they've gotten away with it because it's just been like that. It's not a new show, so people aren't like, oh my god, this is racist.
Wait,
so
how about some context here?
just characters on The Simpsons, like Apu.
Yeah, it's
there's some,
okay. The documentary is done by Indians. Dot,
not Feather.
not Feather. Dot. They call them Desi Americans, and that would be like Aziz Ansari.
Gotcha.
I don't know what Desi American is, but whatever.
either.
It's basically Dot. And so they're this guy that did this. His name is Harry Kondabolu. I'm just gonna call him Harry from now on. Is that cool?
That would be wise.
Yeah, because I'm gonna trip over. I've been trying to read his name for 3 days, and it's not getting any better. So we'll just go with Harry. And he says he's talking about, in my life, lots of people from South Asian immigrants have accents, but none that I've ever met. No loved one, colleague, or even convenience store owner speak with the sing-song melody and lodged in the throat vowels of the Quickie Mart proprietor on The Simpsons. Harry says he explained it in a 2012 segment from a show called Totally Biased with W. Kamau Bell. Apu actually sounds like a white guy doing an impression of a white guy making fun of my father. That's pretty funny. He says Apu has amplified the toxic stereotype of South Asian immigrants as inherently subservient and stupid, and the man who voices that character, Hank Azaria, is white. God forbid. Azaria's portrayal highlights a key challenge for people of color in mainstream entertainment. We rarely, if ever, get the chance to represent our reality to audiences who use characters like Apu to inform their worldview. Harry carries this premise through this documentary and how this one-dimensional Apu character dictates society. It still torments South Asian Americans. His interview with over a dozen Desi public personalities, such as Aziz Ansari, Sakina Jaffrey from House of Cards, and Cal Penn. Cal Penn was on House, but Cal Penn does the Harold and Kumar movies, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Point to just how many of our fellow Desis have lived with that torment throughout their upbringing. I'm driving with my dad as a little kid, and someone honks their car horn and goes, oh, hey, and he's using the Apu voice. I need to get another Slurpee. Can you tell me where the Quickie Mart is? Thank you. Come again. She's yelling this out the window to Aziz. Sorry, as he's driving with his dad. I remember in 7th grade being bullied by this guy who would speak to me only in Apu's accent. That, according to Vivek Murthy, former U.S. Surgeon General. We lived next to a 7-Eleven, and anytime I walked in there, I was like, please don't be one of those behind the counter. My friends are just going to do the Apu. The animated characters' presence didn't just affect these entertainers' upbringings. The entertainment industry coerces real South Asian actors into using Apu's exaggerated accent for hollow bit parts. There's like, can you do it more like Apu? Or that's the voice we're looking for. So from 91 to 96 or 97, my roles were all literally cabbie, deli, doctor. That's Asif Manvi says. One of the first movies I did was called Van Wilder. I played an Indian exchange student. I remember very clearly getting a phone call from my agent at the time. He said, hey, I've got this audition for you. It's supporting a lead in the movie. Then she goes, okay, the character's name, pause, is Taj Mahal. I hung up the phone. She calls me back. I knew you were going to do that. Yeah, I mean, I didn't major in theater and film to play Taj Mahal. She goes, look, it's almost impossible for me to sell you without any legit credits on your resume. I know that you probably won't want to do something like this, but I strongly encourage you to take a look at it. And that's from Cal Penn. And I think he did take that role.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I remember that movie.
So Harry features part of an interview that Azaria did, which he explores how he developed the accent. He says it was an immigrant 7-Eleven employee and Hrundi Bakshi, a bumbling, socially inept Indian character who was portrayed by Peter Sellers. A white British actor in literal brownface. Desi entertainers now enjoy a much better public profile, blah, 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 but their success doesn't solve the problem with Apu. He's still featured in The Simpsons.
It is a problem.
So anyways.
A character on a cartoon.
Yeah. So they've tried to reach out to The Simpsons and Hank Azaria, and you know, Azaria won't answer the phone or anything and talk to this guy for this thing, and finally he emails me. He's like, look, man, he receives an email. He says he's too concerned about how he will be portrayed in the film to appear in it. And this guy's like, that's great. He gets to choose how he wants to be portrayed. So fucking ironic. He says, so yeah, until that show either goes off the air or they address this problem, I don't know what we're supposed to do.
How do you feel about this, Mike?
Yeah. Well, I understand the bitch there. I do. I mean,
the sensitivity to it.
Yes. I mean, there's no doubt about it that when you walked into a 7-Eleven, it was like, thank you, come again. I mean, fuck, I did shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, not to someone's face, but when the door closed behind. I mean,
I don't know Apu personally. What is his character like? Is he a good guy? Is he put in a bad light?
Boy.
Is he a bumbling moron?
No, I don't.
Like, what?
I don't think that he is a bumbling moron, by the way. But I think.
No.
But you're a bumbling moron, so what do you? You know, you lack standing to really comment on that.
He
Mike,
works.
Not really.
He
I
works
could
at
watch
the-
a cartoon and say this guy's a
standing.
moron in the show.
He's not a moron, but he prays to the elephant god, and he's got like 20 kids.
very stereotypical.
Yeah.
then,
And a
like, to
wife.
the max.
Yeah, and of course he runs the Quickie Mart, which is the 7-Eleven, and he's got catchphrases, you know, about slushies or whatever, and thank you, come again, you know, and he's there 24 hours a day, like that's all he does, and so, you know, I understand, but
Some people might say, well, look, you'd never do that with a black character at this point in time, right?
they do though. They still do that with black characters.
Do they? I mean, they make them totally stereotypical and bumbling like that. I mean,
that way.
You know what I mean? Like you'd never treat a black character in the same way you'd treat this Indian character. But what I would say to that is black people have a different history here, you know, of being held down. Fucking slavery happened, right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that,
I've
Mike?
heard about that. No,
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
So they have standing to be extra sensitive to something like that, where maybe Indian people don't have the same.
Yeah, and I think it's like stereotypes.
Yeah, it's a character. It's a caricature of a stereotypical Indian guy that everybody gets and
why is
chuckles
that
at.
funny? Because we all have seen that.
Everybody's seen a hillbilly character, a country bumpkin, a valley
point.
girl, you know? Like, are we supposed to eliminate all of that from our funny shows?
I've thought about that more and more recently, like, because you watch Netflix even, and you watch older shows, and man, think about even The Office at this point, dude. Honestly, these shows now, in this environment that we're in now, what is supposed to be on a show? You know, what is any character supposed to be? You know what I mean? Even in The Office, if you were to look at it now, there's probably things under this PC. You know, Michael Scott was not really a PC character.
No, he wasn't. He was anti.
I mean, he was anti it, but I mean, it still was on the show. And couldn't you say, well, that's not funny because these people really do exist. And now you're laughing at people that have real problems.
Yeah, I just have never had a problem with that. And maybe it's just like, oh, there's your privilege. There's your privilege, white boy. But it's like, you know, if you do a Russian accent or a German accent or a British accent, it's like, okay, whatever. But then you do a Mexican one, it's like fucking racist. You know, if I did my very good anywhere outside of this room, it's monstrous. It's monstrous. I don't think any less of Asian people or Mexican people. And the fact is, The Simpsons have done this forever. Like, who's the Mexican bee? Don't they have a
That's what I was
Mexican
going to
bee?
say, Bumblebee Man.
Yeah, and he's like stereotypical, man. Isn't he?
Right.
Kinda like,
That's what I'm saying. They have other, I mean, and to Jason.
dude, and think about Chief Wiggum. He's the cop. He's fat. He eats donuts. He's got a pig nose. He's a bumbling, stupid cop
Ned Flanders.
that will break laws to further his own agenda. Like, they play into the stereotypes.
You play off stereotypes because people find them familiar
Yeah.
and can hook on to that in that comedic situation, right?
Reverend Lovejoy, self-righteous and judgmental, running the church, and he's always judging you. You know, they're playing into the stereotypes of all these people. Smithers, stereotypical closeted gay guy. Comic book guy, fat loser, lives in mom's basement, eats food, but terrible food, and reads comic books all day and runs a comic store. Fat Tony, Italian. Of course he's in the mob. Of course he's a fucking mobster gangster, and it's the Italian character. Mayor Quimby, corrupt mayor, you know, like, they're playing, these are all stereotypes. So to single out Apu, I mean, I kind of understand what this guy's saying, because he's like, look, we had no representation. It was like, but kind of everybody that comes here goes through that. Long Duck Dong doesn't fly today.
Oof.
You know, but
The donger needs food. No more Yankee my wanky. The donor needs food.
This is America. You know what I mean?
That's right. God damn it.
No,
I don't know where you're going with that, but I agree. This is America.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, America.
You don't like it? Get off my land.
Well, it's just like, I don't know. India. This isn't India. You know? So, I mean,
Great point.
no, I'm just saying, like.
Think about that. It's a great point.
No, I don't know.
Well stated.
Never mind.
Cogent thought.
Finish your thought, E.
The floor is yours.
I don't know I don't know where I'm going with this. I have an idea, but I don't know how to.
Everybody ought to assimilate to American culture and.
Well, on some level, yes, I guess. I mean, this is our culture. Can we not be allowed to have any of our own culture at all? Like,
basically, what you're saying is, look, if you don't like the way we're doing things in our country, then
that's
get
not
out.
What I'm
Go
saying.
on and get
Not
out.
What I'm saying at all.
This is my country, not yours. If you don't like it, get out.
It's not what I'm saying.
I will call you a dot or a feather as long as I want, and if you don't like it, get out. NASCAR.
No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying
Did I get
maybe
that wrong?
some level of, like, I guess Jay used more of the word I was looking for. Some level of assimilation to our culture and what we find okay. Is that allowed?
We did this to ourselves by having the doors open for so long and letting so many people in that we've actually got full-blown societies now of other people.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, I don't know what
shit.
they're going to do with shows and stuff. Like, going forward, I mean, any show, God, if you think about it, anything can be offensive. I know we talk about this all the time, and Mike says it all the time. But any sitcom, anything you want to do with a comedy can be offensive. Like you said, you have a bunch of shows, the Hillbillies. Why can't people in the South then go, this is terrible?
They do.
I know.
There's some that do. I know, who's the guy, the black guy that works for CNN, used to work for Obama. He was another community organizer, Van Jones.
Absolutely.
Van Jones is from the South, and he's like, well, I take issue with that. You know, not all Southern people sound like that.
Not everybody of anything does anything.
Van, shut the fuck up. God damn it. That voice exists. That person exists, and it's, you know, it's relatable. It's funny. Whatever. Get over it. Stop whining about everything. What do you do with a poo at this? Kill him? Do you kill a poo? Is that what you're... You can't just change his voice. That would be even weirder.
Does he have bulletproof glass in the Quickie Mart?
Maybe
He's been
pretty
shot multiple
easy.
times.
No, I think the Quickie Mart is open 24 hours.
It is, and he's been shot multiple times.
Has he really?
Well, he references it. They don't, like, not necessarily, like, he references
I was going to say it'd be easy to take him out, but I guess not, huh? He's got 9 lives.
Indians would protest that. Oh, sure, the one Indian guy on TV and you kill him.
That's right, the one guy. Hey, everybody, please use our affiliate links. You'll see our Amazon and Groupon links above the fold at DetroitCast.com. Click on them. Shop away. It doesn't cost more. The key is, though, that you click through our links. And with Christmas, the Yuletide right around the corner, Amazon is the place to shop.
Amazon.
There has never been a company quite like Amazon.
And moreover, make sure you're shopping MyPillow.com for all of your bedding-related needs. And use TDC code for the best discount. That's the key.
Yes.
It just sounds too exaggerated to the common person out there.
I heard a comic recently talking. I can't remember. He was playing the piano, and he ended the song. He was like, you know, as far as us, you know, white people, we used to own all the land, all the property, and all the money. We still do, but it's just not as fun anymore. Yeah, now everyone's making fun of us all the time. It stinks now. What are you gonna say, E?
I don't know. It just... You say it all the time. Just beating a dead horse, but it just sounds such a path, such a dangerous path, and that even
more and more people realize that now.
You think so? You think it's starting to,
as annoying as it is, and you know, as annoying as the Apu story is, like more and more people are just getting. It's the boy who cried wolf at this point. Like, all right, you're not picking and choosing your spots well enough. We're really starting to reject a lot of this. People are pushing back and just going, "Fuck off."
Yeah, they are, but. You know, when you see people lose jobs and when you see the faux outrage and people react to it, that's where I go, okay, if you just want to cry and scream in your pillow or scream at the sky because Trump's whatever. But when you're targeting, because our show, if we were on their radar, would be an absolute target. We're fun guys. We're not racist assholes. We're doing a comedy show.
Two of us are not.
Right, exactly. For sure 2 of us are not. But, you know, we're fun guys doing a lighthearted comedy show. But if Media Matters got a hold of this show, they would want us.
Here's the thing too. With that said, like the Apu guy, the Apu objector,
come again.
He does have a point. You know, like put yourself in that situation. You're an Indian American, dot not feather,
right?
And you're walking around your whole life. You're presented with this stereotype.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it does warrant, I guess, people going, yeah, you know.
Yep.
maybe we don't take a poo off the show, but yeah, I'm going to be more sensitive to that a little bit.
Yeah. And Azaria said so much, like, looking
Reel
at
it in
now,
a little bit.
It just was a different, you got to remember, in 1989, this was a different country as far as views and attitudes went. Could you put a poo on a show now and have a white guy voice it? Probably not. You probably couldn't do that now. But what do you do? What do you do about it? I was watching a documentary the other day, 11/8/16, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great. It just follows like the whole day of the
Trump
vote.
getting voted, right?
Yeah, and it's basically following people and who they were voting for and what they're going through the day of the thing, and it's like, oh man, I hope he loses, I hope he wins, that kind of thing. And they focused on this Sikh family for a while, and
the Sikhs. We've been over the Sikhs. Please do not think the Sikhs are bad. The Sikhs are loving,
they're wonderful,
peace-loving people. Yes, they carry daggers from time to time. Yes, they wear a turban.
They're not using
fine
the daggers,
Americans.
Though. They're not using the daggers.
It's a religious symbol.
But this cab driver's like, they're like, what do you think of America? And he's like, I love America. I think that America is unbelievable. They gave me opportunity to, and he's a cab driver. He's a fucking New York cab driver. And he's like, I am able to afford to feed my family and have a life here and raise children and send money back to my family in poor country. And so I have nothing but good things to say about this country. And he's admitted, sometimes people are fucking Arab, shit. He's like, I'm not Arab. God damn it. I am a Sikh. I am Sikh. But they show
totally different religion.
They show these guys all gathered in a living room together, and they're watching as the results are rolling in. It's like, well, it looks like Alabama's going this way, and the wife is like, well, what do you expect? They're all white in Alabama. Of course, they hate brown and black people. Of course, and I'm like, what?
You goddamn Sikh!
Fuck you, Sikh. Why would you say that? And the husband's like, yes, very true. Yes, they do not like brown and black people down there. So I would expect that is going to go. That's all white. It's all white people.
They don't want people to buy into the stereotypes about them, but they're doing the same damn thing.
And it's like, could you imagine if you had that same discussion and they're watching the Detroit Cast family? It's like, well, what do you expect? It's all blacks there. Of course they're going to vote that way. They're all black. Right. It's all black. But nobody sees how that's,
Jay's
kind of the same thing, but...
Jay is right though about a lot of that.
Thank you.
We know about the notion we see this outrage, man, and I'm not to use this again as an example, but just from being at this festival again this weekend with young people and stuff. And yes, a lot of those people, if you ask them, would probably hate Trump, but dude, the reality is they all still sit there and talk about wanting to have sex with girls, and they don't sit there. There's different people together. No one's. I didn't outrage anybody. Would not have been if I had said man, that's a hot chick. There would not have been 10 people around me going well, who's to say she's a chick, and who's to say this? You know what I mean? It's very normal, dude. It's very just young people doing young people things. I don't think it is, me and Jay have talked about it, I don't think it is what you see on these TV. They pick these pockets and go, in this college, here's 10 kids who protested because of this, and
I know
in the real life, that's not what it's like.
Everybody on the left knows the company line, and the young people, for the most part, want to look progressive, so they know what to say on social media.
Yeah.
They know how to act in that regard. But when push comes to shove, right?
Right.
They're going out and wanting to fuck those chicks too.
Yeah. Well, that's all fine and good, and you know how your media works, and it's like, yeah, they're gonna do a tight shot on 5 people, make it look like there's an outrage rally going on. It's like, if you pan that out, it's like, yeah, there's 10 kids there. Fuck them, whatever.
It's not always the case.
Not always, but in a lot of cases it is, especially at those Sharpton rallies. When Sharpton would put those on, it's like, oh, 10 people showed up, great. But it does get to reality when, I don't know if you saw, there was either a bus line or one of the trams in California was like, we're no longer welcoming ladies and gentlemen onto the bus. And it's like, we didn't even do the story, but it's like, but how do we know? What if someone doesn't?
Ladies and gentlemen was problematic for him.
What if someone doesn't identify as a lady or a gentleman, and now it's offensive?
of the population might be mentally ill enough not to, and so we need to be sensitive to that.
Yeah, so
I don't even care, by the way, if you're a man and you want to identify as a woman or a woman as a man. But can we at least agree that we are at least men and women? That's the only
no. Sorry, no, you fucking dinosaur, get out of here, racist.
I don't even care
dinosaur.
if you want to.
You were almost woke there, E. You're half woke.
Do we have one email we could do? We've blathered on for a while.
Email, Mike. Before we get to that, I'd like to engage in the quick reading of posts. Listen, man.
What?
This is from London, all the way from jolly old England.
By the way, I have a shitload of stories left. You guys want to pop into members area afterwards?
Absolutely.
I've got an update on Deborah LaFave for you. Remember that smoking hot teacher that fucked that 14-year-old?
Deborah. The name sounds familiar.
Oh, just an angel. Oh, that woman, you'll recognize.
Oh, I remember her.
Remember her?
Yeah. They all got crazy eyes, all those chicks.
And a new job offer that came in overnight for the chick that was flipping off Trump's motorcade.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, we'll get to those in member area.
So Mike chimes in from England with a nice Winston Churchill quote. I may be drunk, miss, but in the morning I will be sober and you will still be ugly. Everybody's heard that one before. That's a famous Winston Churchill, a great one, no doubt. Fellas, greetings again from London, having a jolly old time here, but can't wait to come home. Fun fact, during his lifetime, Winston Churchill suffered a concussion, ruptured kidney, almost drowned, fell several times from horses, dislocated his shoulder, crashed a plane, and was hit by a car, all to simply die of a stroke at 90. There's still hope for Walters.
Wow.
That's something. That's quite a life there.
It's a great quote. It's too bad it's been so overused.
Yeah.
You know, it's been on T-shirts. It's just...
He got no royalties, poor guy.
No, he didn't. And not that he needed them or would have cared even, but it's a great fucking line. Now it's like... tag. It's just, you've heard it so many times. Yeah, I'm drunk, but I'll be sober in the morning and you'll still be ugly. You know, like, it's a brilliant fucking line. And I think,
I may be drunk, miss, but in the morning I will be sober and you will still be ugly.
I mean,
can you imagine the first time that was stated? How genius.
Just
I'd like to see the chip.
Destroyed the room. That would destroy, because he's going to go to the bar later and tell his boys what he said to her, and they're going to fall over. Dude,
I think he was in the bar when he said it.
Yeah.
I'll bet you.
Well, take a step back and think about that line in a different light and give it its due credit, because that is a brilliant comic line.
Brilliant.
It is.
Hey, on the subject of E's penis-softening dancing, which, by the way, he's not the only one making a fool of himself and in the news for that and his fundraising prowess. Zott Ford's in the game with its red-hot clear-the-lot year-end clearance event on all remaining 17 vehicles in stock. While supplies last, save up to 30% on a new 17 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4 that's nearly $13,000 off sticker, or lease that F-150 as low as $161 a month. Surf their outrageous deals, their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
And remember, it's very highly unlikely that Gabar is going to mutter under his breath, fucking asshole, and hang up on you. Very unlikely. 3 or 4 times a year, tops.
Tim writes in concerning this dance recital that E has coming up. Greetings, J. Mike and Hero to the Homeless. I was at a political fundraiser on Monday evening and noticed that Judge Vonda Evans was in attendance. How do we know Vonda Evans? Well, she's one of the judges at said event on Saturday.
Nice.
Well, I hope you tried that.
Tim Digisality. Knowing that she's one of the judges at Big E's upcoming dance recital, I figured I would make my way over to her honor and help to make sure she truly understands the complexities of Big E. Judge Evans told me that she was shocked at how serious some people competing have been taking this contest.
Yeah.
I explained
What does that mean?
I explained to her that while others might be trying hard, I could guarantee no one has put forth more effort than Eric.
Did he tell her about drinking his piss and shitting on the driveway or anything?
Maybe. I told her about all his fundraising efforts for South Oakland Shelter.
Okay, good.
He leaves it at that. And how he has even paid for additional lessons out of his own pocket. I didn't tell her that he was swindled into them, but I figured at least give the son of a bitch some credit for forking over the cash to make sure he's well rehearsed.
Right.
Judge Evans seemed very impressed with how hard Eric has been working.
Oh, boy.
So I left her with this final thought. I told her that I was not asking for her vote, but I just wanted her to realize that when she sees Big E dancing, that he is really stepping out of his comfort zone due to his social awkwardness and overall struggles in everyday life.
Retarded.
She thanked me for the information, and she said she looks forward to seeing him perform. Anyway, I hope my brief conversation with the good judge gives Big E a little bit of an edge on his competition. I truly hope to see an image of the independent contractor standing there with his toothy, gummy smile holding up the trophy. Good luck, Eric. Goodbye, BUI Tim.
Tell me he came in with a heavy-handed handshake.
I don't know.
Was there a greasing of a palm?
I don't know. He doesn't say that, but I give him credit for having the conversation. I think that's
what a
great.
situation that he. And here's the thing: if he had met her like even a month ago, it could have been something where, man, dude, time goes by. But he met her at a good time to get it right in her head.
Very good time.
Week out.
I'd like to get her opinion of the account, because when she was like, "Oh, I'm glad to have that information," I don't know if he talked her ear off, and she was just like,
No. I'll say this: this is probably the most well-written email I've received in the last 2 years.
There's not a single.
There's not a single red
check mark or.
Nope. Look at that.
Misspell.
Tim,
wow.
well done, sir.
Wow. Okay. That says something.
I have a feeling Tim is a dirty lawyer, having gone to a political event like this.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's not like he met her at the the bar, technically. You know what I mean?
He's at a political fundraiser. Oh, those things suck. I used to have to go to those. Dude, someone would come in my office like 4 o'clock and be like, hey, man, we've got a table over at the Townsend for whatever political fundraiser tonight. So
we need you there. We need to fill a seat.
We got to fill this. We had so-and-so back out. And in my mind, I'm going,
Fuck! Fuck me!
It's free drinks and free beverages. I mean,
I'm looking at said person going,
Why? Now, what's wrong with just going, you know what, dude, I got a thing later at this thing.
Because I'm a team player, dude.
Fuck. No.
I know.
Sorry, can't make it.
Ask Pete. It was brutal having to do that shit. But anyway, we'll save the rest for tomorrow. Tim, thank you for doing that. I don't think that can hurt in any way. Probably grease the skids a little bit with Judge Evans. We appreciate that very much.
Congratulations on your email. I'm telling you, not one scratched out line, not one red mark.
Beautifully. We should post this as like an example of how to write an email.
I've never seen it before. Incredible. 3.5 years. I've never seen that. Congrats, Tim. All right, everybody. Well, if you're one of the members, I guess you can join us over in the members area next. We've got a few stories that are left over, so we'll do those. The rest of you, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day, everybody.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.